Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Did you have a nice Christmas? Did you have fun? What did you do? I had a lovely one. I know I did. Although I'm filming this in advance. But anyway, I'm sure I had a wonderful Christmas and I know that you did too. So I've got a little quick project for you today. I'm showing blends to you. I just wanted to give you a little quick something if you've got a little bit of downtime between Christmas and New Year. I love the blends, not yet showing them on camera, so I thought I would. This one was done with the pink pirouette pairing. So the blends come, and I'm going to bring in my storage unit because I absolutely love this. One of the ladies in my team, Heidi, Flutter by Heidi, you'll find her on YouTube. She supplies these, and these are absolutely perfect for our blends. Wonderful, and they fit in all sorts of places. But I use the pink pirouette pair on this one, and I'm actually going to use the Bermuda Bay pair just so you can see a little bit, just a little bit better. But I'm also going to make the card from scratch. So, starting with my sheet of cardstock, it doesn't matter whether you're 8.5 by 11 or your international A4, start with your piece of cardstock and cut it in half. Doesn't matter which direction. I like to work on the length, and that will be, let's make that a half. I like to work and make 10-fold cards. So cut it in half and then score it in half. Okay, and this is shimmery white. This is my favourite for using the blends on. As you can see, I've got quite a big border around my card. So in metric, I've taken this one 1.5 centimetres shorter and narrower. Okay, so actually my piece of cardstock, I've just managed to put ink all over it, is 2 centimetres. Or is it 3? No, it's 3. So this one here needs to be 3 centimetres shorter than that one, which I know where that mark is. Don't worry about specifics. 3 centimetres, about 1.25 inches. And then this one in this direction also needs to be 3 centimetres shorter and narrower. Okay, oh actually maybe I did make it 2.5. Let's try that again. 2.5 centimetres, so 1 inch shorter and narrower. Okay, so that's going to get my layer on there beautifully. Apparently I need a new blade as well. And then I've got my Bermuda Bay, because I want to have that one as well. So that needs to be 2 centimetres shorter and narrower to give the perfect border. So maybe 3/4 inch. And that will get me this perfect border all the way around. I'll just turn off my alarm reminding me to do stuff. Okay? Right, let's get those out of the way. Now, when you're working with blends, because they are alcohol markers. What have I done with my Bermuda Bay? Oh, I didn't get them out. They are alcohol markers, which means you need the perfect ink pad to work with it, which is Armamento. Love Armamento ink. So you need that to start, and I've decided I'm going to go with this one, the same as I did before, which is a 2-part stamp set called You've Got This. Absolutely brilliant to demonstrate this technique to you. So let's get a slightly cleaner block, and I'm lining it up on my grid paper. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, and lining that up on there. Okay. Memento ink. Have you seen this technique before when you a big stamp? Twist all over and then tab. And then I'm going to aim to get this straight without headbutting the camera, but also towards the top. Perfect. Maybe a little bit too high, but that's okay. And then while I've got it here, I'm going to get this sentiment, I'm here for you, and that's going to run along the bottom. So, got a long block for that one. Twist, tap, tap, and I'm here for you. Marvellous. Right, so that's drying down nicely. I'm going to clean up my ink pad. If you haven't seen me show this, Stampin Scrub and Stampin Mist. I love this. Sits like that, easy to carry. These are little rubbery feet, so it's not going to slip around. And what you do is you have the Stampin' spritz, so, sorry, Stampin' mist, so you need a mist and a refill because the mist is small. See, look, it needs refilling. Oh, I just managed to spray that on there. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Clean, clean, clean. Because this is the wet side. It's got a little droplets on that side. And in that corner it's got a sunshine. And then scrub, 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 clean, clean, clean. Marvellous. And then that just, I have that out permanently. It's always there, ready for me to clean as I go. Right, so that memento should be dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop you on autofocus and bring you in. And I work a bit of a funny angle. My hand, I can't work like that. I have to work at that sort of an angle. So forgive me for doing that. But what you need to do is get your blends out that work in a pair. So it says light Bermuda Bay, and this one says dark Bermuda Bay. You've got two ends, a thin bullet end, there, it's not going to focus, thin bullet end, and a fat marker end. Now for me, I work the light in the fat and the dark in the thin, and hopefully you will see that. So where I'm going to work is on one flower that I've immediately blobbed. So I've laid down some light. It's what happens when you look at the camera monitor and not at the project. So I'm just going over, I'm not putting my lids on, but I'm working quite quickly. And that's one done. And you can see I'm not coming to the top, I will come back to that in a second. So light, little edge of dark, and I'm blending over because the principle of an alcohol marker is that they blend into one another. And I am blobbing all over the place. I need to stop looking at the monitor ahead of me and actually look at what I'm doing. So can you see the angle that I'm pushing that at? I'm pushing the dark into where I want it to be, and then I'm going over with the light to push that too. So you can scribble it, you could push it, you can come back over. So long as you're only working on one bit at a time, you will get the blend definition. Now I'm going to come back to this one now, and these ones that I've done, that I've left the edges, and I'm going to grab my colour lifter and I'm going to come back in the other direction. So you can see I pushed up with the first ones, but this one I'm going to bring it down because this moves the ink around. It doesn't really lift it off, it just moves it. Let's check I've got my light one. And I'm going to bring it back down. And you can see this one here is paling up nicely, so's this one. And you can just keep coming in and playing and moving it around. Is that making sense so far? So this is how you're getting the definition. So start with the light, accent with the dark, use the light to push the dark into the light. God, it sounds like some sort of theological debate. Push the light into the dark, dark into the light, and just keep going over. Let it dry a little bit before you start working with your colour lifter. And on small patches you can do a few at a time, because it's a small area. The purpose is not to let the ink dry. Excuse me. You need the ink to remain movable, and if it dries, and it does dry, you can't move it anymore. Let's do another big section here. And just keep pushing it about. And it's a lot of fun. So I can come back on these ones now and sort of fill in the gaps. and bring in my lifter to give a little bit of lighter edge. Oh, that one went all the way up. And as you can see, the longer you leave it, the more defined it comes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do my very best to splice it together and then show you the end result. So hold tight, but you can see how good it's looking. Right, I'm going to keep this in the same position. Right, so I'm back. You can see it's all finished, and hopefully you can see all that definition there between the light, the dark, the shading. I've also finished off the stalk here, and now when I put the cards together, see, it's very bad, I didn't put the lids back on these. Let's get the lids back on. And they do snap shut because obviously they're alcohol markers and they will dry up. So do make sure they're on well, and I can put my card together. So you can see why I've gone for using Bermuda Bay rather than the pink pirouette. Couldn't see it so well. And it does come through, but I've got a back on it. So you're never going to know. Does it matter? No, nobody's going to know. And layer it on. Put this into the centre of my card. And that is my blends demonstration, and I really, really like it. I love the blends. I have a lot of fun with them, and I hope you will too. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.